guys, welcome back to another episode of the Exceptional Scrum Master podcast. My name is Yinka and I remain your online Agile coach. Now, in today's episode, I'm going to be teaching you how to answer that almighty question. Tell me about yourself. Now, we all know that this is one question that will always show up in every interview. It's a way for, recruiters and interviewers to kick off a conversation. So since you're aware that this question will come up, it's better for you to prepare ahead of time so that you have the right story to tell. And that way it would increase your chances of getting a job. Now, one thing you need to know is this: when someone asks you to tell them about yourself, when you're being interviewed, this person is basically asking you what value you bring to that organization. So even though they say, tell me about yourself, you have to reword that question in your mind and say, what value will I be bringing to this role? What value will I be bringing to my team and this organization? That's really what that question is about. So please, don't go talking about your family history. Don't go talking about, all of the things that were wrong or right and all that kind of stuff. Don't go talking about things that are unnecessary. Stick to the question. Understand the context of that question so that way you're able to respond in a manner that wows, those on the panel, and they're like, you know what? This is the perfect fit for the job. Now, today, I'd like to share 3 areas that I want you to focus on when you're trying to answer this question. I want you to focus on the first thing, your skill set. What skill sets do you have and what skills do you bring to this role? Second thing would be for you to focus on your qualification. And the third thing will be for you to focus on your experience. But when it comes to your experience, I want you to focus on the achievements and the things that you've done your previous place of work. So these are the 3 areas that I want you to focus on: your skill sets, the qualifications you have, and the experience that you have, which involves the achievements that you've made at the various places that you have worked. So now, having that as a context will kind of help guide what are the necessary things I need to say in response to this question. Now, as you prepare for this question, another thing that I'd like you to have at the back of your mind, which would help you carve out the perfect response, would be for you to take a look at the job description. Remember, in one of my episodes, I mentioned how it's important for you guys to apply to jobs based on the job description. So at that time, you would have a customized resume specific to a particular organization. Now, I want you to take a look at that job description one more time. Look at the skills that you're looking for. Look at the experience that you're looking for. So that way it will guide you when you're trying to carve out what your response will be to this question. And the great thing is that because you can anticipate that this question will be asked, it gives you the opportunity to be able to actually sit down, think, and write. Now, are you going to say everything that you wrote down? Maybe not. But that will guide your conversation. Also, it's important for you to know that this question, tell me about yourself, is an opportunity for you to sell yourself. So please don't misuse that opportunity. Take that opportunity by chance and prove to those recruiters that you're the perfect fit for the job. So today, what I've decided to do is take a look at a job description that I found on LinkedIn. LinkedIn seems to be like my perfect fit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up that job description. I've kind of revealed the job description. And then based on that job description, I am going to tell the recruiter about myself based on what that job description states. Now, it's important for you to use a job description because that is what they're looking for. So there are certain skill sets they're looking for. There are certain experiences that they need you to have. So using that job description as a way to sell yourself and talk about yourself is actually perfect. Okay. So let's imagine that right now I am in an interview and I have someone right in front of me and the person's like, "Hi, it's so great to have you over here. So please, can you tell us a bit about yourself?" This will be my response. "Thank you so much for the opportunity to be interviewed for this position. I am confident that I have the skill sets, the qualification, and experience needed for this role, having read through your job description. I am a certified Scrum Master with over 5 years of experience mentoring teams. I have helped teams with no Agile knowledge explore Scrum as a framework, and I've also helped teams to explore Kanban as an alternative depending on the context of their work. I have also been privileged to work on complex projects that have allowed me the opportunity to explore some of those scaling frameworks out there. And I am an expert in the SAFe scaling framework, having implemented this in over 3 projects across 2 organizations. I consider myself very proficient in the use of Agile project management tools. So when it comes to the likes of Jira, Azure Boards, Miro, just name it, I have experience because I've worked in several organizations that have used many of these tools. I have a firm grasp of leadership that focuses on serving teams. I possess strong communication skills that enables me to collaborate easily and remove impediments. In my current place of work, I am constantly reminded of the great things that I've done and the great value that I bring due to my success in creating more visibility across the work streams in my program. This really helped leadership gain real visibility into the progress of work, and they were more confident in terms of how to ship products and when to actually tell marketing that products will truly be shipped. I consider myself a high achiever with a focus on helping teams become highly effective, which then helps them to achieve their set objectives. I believe that if I'm hired for this position, I'm going to use all of my skills, my qualifications, and my experience to ensure that whatever team I get to support becomes highly effective. Thank you very much. Now, let's take a look at my response to that question. Now, because this is a video, I kind of made this a bit lengthy just so that you're able to pick a few tips that you might want to apply to yourself. But in my response, I ensure that I picked on the skill sets that I have. I ensure that I explored my experience, my qualifications, and the achievements that I had where I work. It's very important because sharing all of that actually helps the recruiter to know, okay, experience, check, value, check, qualification, check, and whatever it is they want to check, they can always give me that checkpoint. And clearly, my response then exposes, the interviewer to ask me further questions. But I have given myself a well-rounded response in such a way that if that interview ends maybe 5 minutes down the line, I've positioned myself to be considered at least for the next round. And this is how you want to prepare. Because remember, there's so many people out there that are also applying for these jobs. So you have to prepare, ensure that you are ready. And since you know that this question has actually become an icebreaker question, then it's better for you to prepare ahead of time so that you can have the perfect response for this question. Also, I'll advise that you check your time. So when you come up with tell me about yourself, make sure that you check your time. You don't want to keep that response to be too long, because when it gets too long, it gets really boring for the person who is listening. So make sure you time yourself and keep the response somewhere around 2 to 3 minutes. Maximum, I don't know, what it would look like where you keep talking and talking and talking. It really bores, the person on the other side who is just listening. So be conscious of the fact that some of them might have so many questions that they want to ask. And so if you spend all the time on one question, then it becomes really difficult for them to ask other questions. And sometimes if they don't get to ask all of their questions, that might be a criteria for employment that you may not fulfill. So be conscious of time when you're responding to this question. But the better you're prepared in answering this question, this would drastically increase your chances of getting the job because you show up confidently, knowing exactly who you are, and you're sharing that value to those people right in the panel. This is me wishing you all the best as you keep applying for jobs. And please let me know if these tips work for you. Send me an email if you get a job using any of these tips. It would really make my day. Thank you so much. Please don't forget to share. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to leave a review. And for those of you who are out there in search of jobs, looking for, where to practice what you've learned, looking for where to get more knowledge, and looking for where to build confidence, I'd like to recommend my group coaching program that kicks off June 7th. Registration actually ends May 31st. So you actually have to register before this month is over to secure a spot in that group coaching program. And in that program, you're going to be learning all of this and much more so that you can be more confident to show up in an interview and show out. So registration link will be in the description below. And if you have any question, feel free to send me an email. Thank you so much. And I cannot wait to catch you in my next episode. Bye for now.